Well guys, as you know, it is canning season, and one of those things I've talked about over the last few videos I've done with like pantry and kitchen, talk about collaboration kind of things, I wanted to add some different things to the pantry that are more readily available to use. I've explained before where I have an ingredient kitchen, which means I have a whole bunch of ingredients that I put together to make stuff, and I'm still going to do that, but there are a few things that I'm going to add. Now, I have been doing pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce for the last few years. That's always been something that I just kind of made on the fly, or frankly I just bought it because I never had any sauce available. But now what I want to do is continue on making more of that, as well as barbecue sauce and sloppy joes and more of those tomato based products that are going to be more readily available just to throw together these Homestead fast food dishes. So to do that, what I've been doing since it's been a year where my tomatoes stayed green forever and slowly ripened over the last few weeks, what I did was I accumulated them and I put them in frozen bags. So what you do with these, you want to core, score, and freeze, and that's all you're going to do. Unless you want to wash them, you can always wash them first. But you just cut the core out, score them, put them in a freezer bag, and then you just take them out whenever you are ready to process them. So I have my roaster oven here that I got for Christmas last year, and I'm eager to use it for the first time this year, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted a big roaster oven, was to process big batches of tomato products. Now what I'm going to do is something simple and easy, and I'm just going to make a tomato sauce base. I'm going to use up all the tomatoes I have that I am ready to process, which are, I have 4 frozen bags there. I have a ton here, I have a box here, and I have one more box on the floor you guys can't see. So I've got those tomatoes that are ready to process. I'm going to put as many as I can into this roaster oven, put it on low, and I'm probably going to let it go all night so that way it evaporates most of the liquid off. There is another way that I like to do this that I've showed previously when I was at my old homestead, which was probably the last time you seen me do it was in last year's tomato videos. And what it is, you just take a pressure canner or a large pressure cooker, same thing in this case, and you're just going to throw all your tomatoes in there, pack it as full as you can. I usually put about a quart of water in there just in case so it doesn't stick on the bottom. Close it and process them for, just put them on 10 pounds of pressure for like 5 minutes. Let it cool down, take the top off, and whenever you do, all of the liquid's going to be sitting on top. So all you have to do is pour the liquid off, and then you can emulsify everything in there, and it becomes a really thick sauce base. So instead of doing that, because I have a few other things I need to do this afternoon, we're going to throw them all into a roaster oven, and then we're going to use that sauce base to then make several recipes where you have sauce, the tomato sauce as a base, and then you add your flavors for your different recipes. So let's get started. First thing I have to do is clear out a spot because I have so many vegetables sitting on my own. Okay, I think I made it. Okay, so I mentioned a while ago, whenever you freeze them, to core them and score them before you freeze them. That is if you want to take the skins off. Now with this process, all I'm going to do is just immersion blend it all together, skins and everything, and then you can sieve it out, or you can take the skins out as they start to thaw. Now you can wait and not do them frozen. You can freeze them and let them thaw out and then take the skins off and do this process. It doesn't matter, however you want to do it. This is just one step to getting your sauce, however you want to get to the end product. So you see I've got it almost full. I do have room to go ahead and put some fresh ones in there. I'm going to get this started, and then once they are almost thawed out, then I'm going to go ahead and put the fresh ones in there, because I've got to go back and core all of these and go ahead and put these in here once these have thawed out. So I'm going to wait just a little bit. Go ahead and turn this on and let it start heating up. So good morning. Let me show you what the tomatoes have done overnight and what I have done this morning to go ahead and get them finished cooking down. So as you will see, our line was up to here. So it's been cooking down, it's gone down about 2 inches. Now one thing I did this morning when I woke up, the top was on here all night and it was on about 250 because I didn't want it, you know, to run out of water and burn overnight. With the top being on it, the water did not escape. It was really, really liquidy this morning. So what I did is I went ahead and I turned it up to about 350, 400, left the top off, and it has cooked for 3 more hours. And really the level has dropped about 1 inch in 3 hours. It did about an inch or so overnight, and then in 3 hours it's already done another inch. And I just want you to see how thick this is. It's getting really thick, so it's almost to the point that we are going to go ahead and blend this up, and it's almost ready to make our recipes. So once this gets blended up and I need to see if I need to cook it down a little bit more, then that's going to be a tomato sauce base that you can use for anything. You can can it the way it is, or you can make it into different recipes like I'm going to be doing. But stick around. I will show you the process of finishing this up, making a sauce base, just a plain tomato sauce that you can use as a base for other recipes, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so this has now cooked down probably another 1/2 inch from the last time you seen it. I've got my immersion blender here that I am going to go ahead and just blend all of this up because I need to see how thick it is. I can still see a lot of liquid, but when I stir it, it's really thick. I do need to see how thick this is, so I know if I need to cook it down anymore. Now with this base, like I said, you can use it in other recipes. So you can either can it, like I said, just plain sauce, or you can cook it down a little bit more whenever you make those different recipes like ketchup or barbecue sauce or sloppy joe sauce or anything like that, pizza sauce. You can cook it down further then if you need to, but we need to get a good base just to see kind of where our cooking time goes. So we are going to use our immersion blender here and just blend all of this up. Now you can, I'll go ahead and put this disclaimer in here. You can go ahead and sieve this out through a food mill. You can put it in a blender, or you can just use an immersion blender. It depends on how processed you want it, how blended you want it. So it's all up to you whether you want the skins in there, or if you want to take them all out. This is really thick. Oh shoot, be careful. I knew I should have put my apron on. One good thing about an immersion blender is that the skins get caught around it, so you can actually take those out as you process it. So as you see, my food processor or immersion blender has these holes. That can be good and bad sometimes, but in this case, I love it because it does grab all of those skins and I'm able to take these out. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to run these through the food mill one last time to get all the juice and the sauce out that was in the immersion blender inside those skins. And then the skins I'm going to save and we're actually going to process those a little bit later. Alright, so you see the sauce is really, really thick. And this would make a really good tomato sauce. Just to can it like this, this is a good base to get started. Now from here, if you have recipes such as like barbecue sauce or ketchup that you don't want the seeds in, you'll have to run this through some kind of food mill. If you have a fine strain food mill, or if you have a kind of a bigger screen sieve or something like that, just something that the seeds won't be able to go through, then this will be a good time to process that. Otherwise, this is thick enough for my taste right now. I will cook it down in my other recipes that I'm going to be doing, so hang tight. And I'm going to cut this off because I don't want it to cook anymore. I'm scared it's going to start splattering because it's starting to get thick. So this is going to sit here and cool off just a little bit, and I'm going to get ready to process it. Now, I don't necessarily can tomato sauce. I can my tomato products as I'm going to use them. So from here, if you want to go ahead and can this, you will put this in either pints or quarts. Usually pints is what people like buy at the store, in the cans being about 15 ounces or so. That would be your pints. So you will put those into pint jars with clean lids and rims while it's hot. Put into a hot water bath canner, and then you'll process those accordingly. Since I don't can tomato sauce, I will look it up for you. Let's see. Okay, so for the basic tomato sauce, this is in the Ball Home Preserving book. I'll just run through it real quick. You'll add a half a teaspoon of salt to pints and 1 teaspoon to quarts, just as in any vegetable. And let's see, pints process for 35 minutes and quarts will go for 40 minutes. So that's how you want to process this in a water bath canner. That just looks really good. Okay, so tomato sauce in jars, lids and rings, water bath canner, 35 minutes, pints, 40 minutes, quarts. Like I said, most people are going to do their pints for 35 minutes. So I've still got to drain my tomato skins off over here, get that extra liquid and pour back in here. And stick around. I'll be using these in multiple recipes. I'm actually going to be processing them this afternoon, but I'm going to break them up into different recipe videos. So stick around for that. If you have any questions down below, just ask away. Or you can message me on Instagram, Facebook, leave comments down below. Any kind of questions you have, just let me know. So till next time, guys, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.